welcome to Saints Row Brewing Excursion episode of
Brutal Battle. So, we finally made it to this place called Saints Row Brewing in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Really kind of a small spot.
Very small.
Yeah, it kind of harkens to a lot of other small breweries we've been to where it's kind of like, you know, they have like one of those garage door things on it to open up and down to open up their space, and it's a very kind of small industrial space, basically, with a bar thrown in there. So it's very kind of simplistic. It's not very, you know, not very super warm in the way that it is. It's very kind of like stripped down and industrial, and
and then there's like
it's a brewery.
3 picnic tables outside, and there were a couple like benches off to the side with like plants around them. But I feel like that'd be kind of hard because there would be no place to hold your beer. You definitely would have to put your beer. You'd have to hold your beer.
So basically, not a lot of seating because it is a small brewery, but good beers, I would say, for the most part. So obviously, we're going to go over what we had there. We only have one beer to drink on podcast from them, because they didn't have anything to take home when we were there. It looks like they had coolers, so it looks like sometimes they do have like 6-packs or 4-packs of 16-ounce cans or something, but at the moment it looks like they just didn't have anything, just everything was on tap. So we got a crowler. Unfortunately, there was an issue with the crowler. It looks like there was some sort of like imperfection with the can itself. And when the top got crimped onto it, there was still like some space under it between it and the can, and so it leaked. But it was a really small, slow leak. So
just like bubbling, it was like gurgling out of it.
Yeah, basically. So the beer is still good. We already poured it into glasses before starting the podcast. And
we sampled it a little bit just to make sure.
Just to make sure that it was still okay. But the beer's still good, so it wasn't a big deal.
And
we just lost a little beer.
It was like a day and a half ago that we got it.
Yeah, we just lost a little beer, so it's not that huge of a deal, though. But, okay, so the beer that we have is called Apostolic Saison, and it's basically a hoppy Saison. 7% alcohol, and we had it while we were there. We enjoyed it enough to get a crowler of it, so let's talk about this beer. Yeah. Very orange color.
Yeah.
Super orange.
Very opaque. Can't see through it.
I mean, it smells Saison yeasty. Yeah. For sure.
It smells like spicy, like peppery.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely got a little bit of that kind of like pepper, a little bit of clove going on in there as well. Like pepper, clove, spices. That very typical, like I was saying, Saison yeast smell to it. Like, if you know it, you know it. There's a decent hoppiness on the nose. Hoppy. It's like citrus. It's like nice kind of orangey citrusiness, which is very interesting to be mixed in with those typical Saison notes. It smells good.
It smells very good. That's kind of like all I'm getting. Are you getting anything other than the citrus?
Well, everything. I think everything we listed is pretty much.
It's nothing.
There's a little hay.
Nothing is stronger than the other. I feel like it's just kind of.
Yeah, it's pretty in check. Yeah, but so much of that like Saison yeast at play in there. All right, and it's tasty.
It's very tasty. It tastes like it smells. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a little Vaseline.
Okay, I could see that. It's very strong with the Saison yeast. The Saison yeast has a lot of flavor at play on the actual taste of it. You do get that nice hoppiness that's hanging out on top. Like I said, it's kind of like a little orangey, like dehydrated orange because it's a bit sweet. It is coming off a little bit resiny as well, flavor and kind of viscosity wise. It's a little more serious on the mouthfeel.
When I took my first sip, I was like, I love this mouthfeel. It's like so
it's
full.
Nice. Yeah, it is.
Just like...
It's more of a serious beer than you would think.
Yeah, it's like... it's juicy.
And it's got a little bit of what you really like, having that kind of like the spent malt grain flavor on the end of it, which I think is playing really well in this. And it has a decent bitterness to it. It's kind of like medium-low bitterness.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
I like it just as much as when we had it there.
It's making me think back to the days of the beer Raging Bitch when it first came out by Flying Dog Brewing, and how much of a success that was. That was a Belgian-style IPA. Obviously, this is a Saison, so Belgian-style Saison, two different things, but it's a little bit similar.
Like a mashup.
Yeah, it's similar in that mashup, and some of the flavor profiles are also kind of similar, but this is really good.
I haven't had that beer in a long time.
Yeah. Well, when we were there, I knew we had to try this because I was just like, how often do you get like a hoppy Saison?
Yeah,
like,
no, not often.
Almost never in that sense. First of all, how often do you get a Saison? It's few and far between. And then a hoppy Saison on top of that? I mean, come on. This is really nice, though. I'm very happy we got this one. I'm very happy that the imperfection with the can didn't destroy the beer. That was the big thing. So before we go any further and I end up forgetting, I want to give a big shout out to Barry, who was the bartender when we were there. Super nice guy, very accommodating. Really like that guy. So
yeah, we'll tell you why he was so accommodating when we tell you about what we had.
Yeah, that's the accommodating part. But
and they don't do flights per se, but you can get as many as you want in like 5-ounce pours. Mm-hmm. Is that what they were? I think.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. You can kind of like, I don't know, you know, they call them half pours, short pours.
Yeah, right.
5 ounces, whatever.
So the first beer I'm going to talk about was
like
the first one we tried, and it was our favorite, but we didn't ask, but we just made what I assume is a proper assumption that we could not get it in a crowler because it was on nitro. And that was their Pineapple Cool Whip. And it is a pineapple IPA. So it's basically pineapple and I'm trying to read it off of. They don't have the actual ingredients here. It was a Pineapple Cool Whip milkshake IPA.
I think they do on their web. Now their website doesn't. Let me get my phone.
Because I was looking off Untapped, and Untapped just does not have the description. I mean, it has like flavor notes and those types of descriptions, but it doesn't like tell you specifically what's in it. I mean, it says that there is pineapple in it, but yeah. But I do remember on their board they said Pineapple Cool Whip milkshake IPA. But that was our favorite because it was sweet, but not too sweet. It had like that nice vanilla-y note to go along with a real nice pineapple.
And it was so creamy.
So because of the pineapple plus that sweetness to it, it was like this little bit tart, little bit sweet coming together and balancing each other out. It was just really good. It was really tasty.
I just went to their website because I think they had some other descriptors of their beer.
Yeah.
And I just saw their advertising tickets to their 6th anniversary party. They've been around 6 years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Hold on tap. Let's see.
Should I go to the next beer that we had while you're looking stuff up?
Yeah, it just says it's a pineapple milkshake IPA.
Okay, that's fine. And then the next one we ended up having was called Old Coffee Bear. And I didn't fully read this one. I saw coffee brown ale. And I didn't notice that it was actually a coffee wild brown ale. So literally it's like an Oud Bruin or Flanders Brown. And
we didn't like it.
Yeah, so it's you know, done to be sour specifically, and then with Brazilian light roast coffee added to it. So we tried it and we were like, not a fan of this. So I took it back and I said to Barry, I was like, we're going to get some other ones. And I was like, we didn't like this one, but you know, you win some, you lose some. I'm fine with this, whatever. But then he was like, I'll just replace it. Like, if you weren't happy with the beer, like, I'll give you another one.
Which is so nice. Like, unnecessary, I think.
You didn't need to do that.
I mean, granted, it was only a 5-ounce pour, but still.
So what we got as our replacement was their Free State Pilsner, which is supposed to be a German-style Pilsner, but honestly, to me, it actually just kind of tasted more like a hoppy Pilsner. It definitely didn't taste like a clear German-style Pilsner.
Yeah, it wasn't like clean and crisp. It was light. It was good, though. I mean...
it had a decent hop character to it. So it had this kind of, that oranginess that's showing up in this apostolic. It was in that one as well. It was really tasty. We really enjoyed it. And then we also had their Jaja Ding Dong. Say that name 5 times fast. Their Jaja Ding Dong, which is a Kvike IPA.
Yeah, and on here it says it's the Farmhouse IPA.
Yeah, that's wrong. I mean, it's just a Kvike IPA. Okay. It wasn't a Farmhouse IPA. It's just an IPA with Kvike yeast.
Oh, yeah. It says Farmhouse IPA, and then underneath it says Kvike IPA.
Yeah. So it's, yeah. But it was quite good. Did really enjoy that one. And then we had the Hopastolic, and that was it. But I did take a picture of everything that they had on tap.
They had a couple other ones, and they also had a hop water.
Yes. The first thing on there was Hop 2.0, which is a hop water. They had a beer called Melon Felon, which is a fruited sour.
They have cucumber melon.
Yeah. They have
good.
One called Hardy Durian, which is a wild Belgian strong. And I asked the guy, is it called Hardy Durian because there's a durian fruit in it? And he was like, no, absolutely not. That would be so disgusting. I was like, okay, I just didn't know. I wasn't sure. Then there was White Hart Lane, which is a white ale. Then they have I Am Graf, which is a gluten-free beer and cider mix. Then they had their Brunch Papa, which is a Saison.
On their website, it's called I Like It When You Call Me Brunch Papa, and it's a Mimosa Saison.
A Mimosa Saison,
I wish we would have tried that.
I wish I would have known that one. But they can't fit it all on
that board. Yeah.
So I guess if people go, look on their website instead.
Check both.
Then they had their Pemberley, which is a barley wine.
Barrel-aged barley wine with black tea.
Interesting. Then they had Green Flowers, which is an IPA. Anything special on that one?
No, that's not on there.
Okay. And then they also had on tap Week Away Hazy IPA and Bright Spot IPA, which were products from True Respite, who wasn't far away, but they have actually closed now, unfortunately.
They must have just
sadly given
their old kegs
or probably sold it to them, but were like, hey, you guys want to serve this? So
yeah, so cool, nice, interesting beers they have, and this spot was recommended by one of my coworkers who went there and said they have some traditional stuff and then some non-traditional stuff and do like a nice job with their takes on some non-traditional styles.
Shout out to Rachel. Good job. Also, when we were there, they had a very interesting looking lobster food truck.
Yeah, which if we hadn't
already just
I know. Because I love lobster.
Yeah.
And, they had lobster rolls, they had lobster grilled cheese, lobster quesadilla.
They had lobster nachos, I think.
I don't know. They had just like lobster everything you could
think of. A lot of different lobster tots.
And they had like lobster tots, and they had like TV screens on the outside with their menus.
High tech.
It's like I've never seen that in a food truck.
It's definitely one of the nicest food trucks I've ever seen, and there were a lot of people showing up specifically just to get food from it. So I guess they found a really good food truck to come by every now and then. So that's good. That is a good draw to get people in, eat that food, but also have some beers with it. So, but another thing I want to say is I used the bathroom while I was there, and they have a very nice bathroom. And they also have, if this matters to people, some people it does. They had a bunch of like drawers, like cloth drawers, in like a little stand, and it had labels on it and said, take whatever you need. There's like toilet paper, paper towels, Clorox wipes, and then there were tampons and pads. And they just said, complimentary of, the Saints Row Brewing team. So
yeah, because that's nothing worse than being caught off guard when you need a pad or tampon.
Yeah, exactly. And I also saw that they had a ton of board and card games.
Oh, fun.
It's like kind of on the way to get to the bathroom. And then apparently in the same building, they kind of share it with a coffee.
Yeah, coffee roaster.
Coffee roaster, yeah. So
yeah, I wonder if they're like, I'm just going to say related. Are they owned by the same person?
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Who knows? If
it's possible. I'm going way faster on this Hopastolic than I thought I would.
Yeah, look at me.
At 7%, I didn't think I would be going through it as quick as I am, but it's so tasty. You just want to keep going back. I really enjoy this. Great beer. Great decision.
And you can bring food from off-site.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know.
And you can bring dogs.
Parking's very limited, though.
Yes, but there is parking around the corner.
Oh, okay.
So we're like, when we got a spot right in their lot, because we got there not long after they opened on, like they opened at 4 on a Friday. We got there like 4:15, so we were able to get a spot in their lot. But as we were exiting the lot, I saw their logo on a sign that said additional parking over here.
Okay. But if you want to like park in the best parking spaces that's right there, probably just go pretty much as soon as they open would be my guess. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Saints Row. You got anything else?
No, that was it. I mean, we were
happy
in
with
and
it.
out.
We would go back.
Would go back. Well, it's hard because they're a little hike for us.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hike, but there are some other breweries down that way we can check out. So
yeah, I definitely would go back.
We can do it. But awesome. If people want back episodes of the podcast to listen to, you can go to brutalbattle.com. You can send us emails if you want to reach out to us and say hey, or get beer recommendations, or give beer recommendations, or whatever. brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com. Please consider rating and reviewing us through whatever podcatcher you use. It really does help with visibility, especially Apple Podcasts. And word of mouth is a big thing, so you can let people know about the podcast who you like and want to also listen to it. And get some good craft beer podcasting in their ear holes. Mm-hmm. Also, we're on Untapped. I'm Carlton Malibu, all one word. You are
Ruby Reb 62.
And then the Insta.
Brutal Battle Podcast.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for checking this one out. We have more excursions on the way. But until next time.
Keep it brutal.